By the end of this video, I'm going to help you find your life's purpose. So you'll be pretty silly to click off because this might be a really important video that you'll remember for years to come. These 4 pretty important circles is from a technique that the Japanese call Ikigai, which basically translates to a reason for being. Now, I must say this is the Western version of Ikigai, which is a technique which helps you find more your purpose and passion for what you can make money for in life and how you can make a living. But the actual Japanese version, I must say, is all about helping you find your real purpose, why you wake up and the little things that you enjoy doing every single day. So this will also really help you with that as well. So I must clarify that. Anyway, these 4 circles represent 4 questions that I'm going to ask you, starting with number 1, love. Now the first question I want to ask you is, what do you love? What do you absolutely love doing? Now, if you're a bit confused and you're making a list, you're thinking, oh, I'm not really sure, what do I love? And you're trying to overthink it, I want you to write everything down. Starting with your interests. What do you love to do? What hobbies do you enjoy to do in your spare time? Is it art? Is it football, weightlifting, going to the gym? Whatever it is, write it down. The next bullet point is time passing. What do you do that makes time go so quickly? It literally could be as simple as watching a sunset. Like, I want you to write everything down. And finally, what makes you curious? As I said, it could be anything in this world that genuinely you love doing. It could be going for a walk. It could be, as I said, watching a sunset, going to a museum, learning about history, learning about science, whatever it is. It could be crazy where you think there's no way I can actually make a career out of this. Don't worry about that at the moment. Right now, I want you to write everything you enjoy, even if it's, I don't know, pens. You love pens, right? Write that down. Although you might think, oh, I'm not going to be able to turn that into a hobby, it doesn't matter. We will find ways to turn things into a hobby in a minute in the next couple questions. So just give it a little write down. There's a lot of things that I like. I love watching sunsets. I love learning. I love watching YouTube. I love filming. I love editing. I love going on hikes. I love getting fresh air in nature. I love being curious and learning about different animals, different species and the history of the world. I love traveling. I love exploring new places. That is my list. I want to hear yours in the comments. Please also share exactly what you've written for each segment, but that is number 1. What you love doing. I hope you've got a massive list now of all the things that you absolutely love to do. Second, we are going to look at strengths. Number 2, what are you good at? What are your strengths? Right? And you've already got a list on number 1 of everything you love. So start from there. I've written a couple down for me. So for example, I love sunsets. Is that something I'm good at? Not really. So maybe that won't be something I'll write down. The gym. Is that something I'm good at? Yeah, it is. So I'm going to write that down as well. I love filming, editing, YouTube. Is that something I'm pretty good at? Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty good at that, so I'm going to write that down. Now, I don't want you to write down everything that you put for number 1. I also want you to be creative and think about new things. And to help you with that, I want you to think about, what do friends compliment you on? What do they say, oh, you're good at that? Or if you're in the friendship group, they say, oh, Tom, can you do this because you're the best at this? What do they rely on you for? Same with work or school or anything like that. What do people say, oh, you're good at? They might compliment that you're funny, your humour. They might say, oh, you're good looking, whatever it is. Or your friends might say, oh, you're really good at driving, for example. Like, I trust you with driving, you're really good. Write that down. I want you to write a list of things that are similar to number 1, but also quite different, so that you can have a varied and a lot of answers to go off, so that you can put together your perfect purpose in life, right? So you found out what you absolutely love to do and also what you're pretty good at. Now we're going to focus on topic 3 and question 3, which is going to be world. Question 3, what does the world need? Based on what you have put on question 1 and 2, I want you to combine that list and have a little look about what the world needs. Now, this is why I think writing what you love is very important. Because if you have a look at the list of number 1, I love YouTube, right? But people say I'm very good, and I've also put YouTube in column 2, but obviously that's because I've been doing YouTube for a long time. If you're just starting out or you're curious about YouTube, you might not be good at that just yet, and that's absolutely fine. That's the importance of putting what you love and what you're good at, because you can combine things. So say I was just about to start a YouTube channel. My list here is what I love is YouTube. Now, if you look at number 2, what do I love doing? Editing and camera work. So potentially, Or talking, for example. That's what I'm pretty good at. I'm pretty good at talking to people, or making friends, or talking to strangers, or socializing. I can kind of combine the two and say, do you know what, the world does need YouTubers, or the world does, well, in some ways, the world does need help educating in certain ways, or inspiring. So for me, I think if you look at these questions that I've written here, how can your work help people? Well, I'd like to inspire people, and I'd help to educate people to make them make better decisions and feel better about their lives. So, who do I want to help? Well, I can think, well, I want to help probably mostly men. I want to help younger people and inspire the next generation coming up, because I've been in some pretty dark, tough situations myself, and I know it's a lonely road. So, have a little think. Write a list of all the things you think the world needs based on what you have written down. Now, you might also think what you love, and it's something like sunsets, and you might think that's pointless, but if you think about what the world needs, maybe the world needs help definitely with climate change, definitely with science. And if that's something you'd say you're good at with science, combining sunsets and science isn't the worst thing. You can look at astrology, or something to do with the sun, or trying to help climate change, or a bit of a cause like that. So it's very important to make sure you write down what you love, even if it's something you've never done before, or something you haven't really tried. Like, I love history. I love learning about history, but I wouldn't say I'm good at it because I haven't done enough of it. So you get what I mean? So that's the importance of really just writing down everything you can think of in your mind, because the more and the bigger list you have, the better. So yeah, what does the world need? Hopefully with that, you've kind of looked at it and thought, right, the work, people need a lot of editing. People need help with editing. People need help with socializing. People need help with camera work. They need help maybe with their marketing for their social media. Whatever it is, write it down and identify your core audience. Who are you trying to attract? And the final circle, we're almost there now. You're almost at your life's purpose. It's going to be pay. Probably the most important one for this video for you. Now, my final question to you is, what can you be paid for? Now, this is super important to really identify what it is that you can actually turn into monetization. Now, a lot of the time these days, you can turn a lot into monetization. You'd be surprised. But I want you to think about this. Lifestyle wants. And what I mean by this is there could be something where you get paid really, really well. Say, for example, you're quite interested in science, or being a doctor or something. But does that fit your lifestyle? So yes, you could be paid very well for a doctor's work and a doctor's salary, but would that fit your lifestyle? For example, you love aeroplanes. Could being a pilot, say you've had being an aeroplane, is in your number one list of things that you love, or vehicles, whatever it is. Could a driver and a pilot's salary and a pilot's lifestyle really fit your needs? Right, your desire for your dream life. I hope that makes sense. What I basically mean is, a doctor is long hours, a pilot is crazy hours where you're doing very different schedules, right? And is that what you want? Whereas say you went, for example, for YouTube, which is also pretty 24/7, you kind of get to work on your own schedule, if you know what I mean. So you can figure out here, what can you be paid for? Now, there are some things where you will look at the list based on all three of these things that you've written, and you go, yeah, the likeliness of me being paid for that is pretty low. For example, we could say walking, right? You love walking, but the likeliness that, I mean, are you really, if you're quite passionate, you could turn it into doing it by combining YouTube and walking, for sure. But the opportunity there, it's quite a niche topic. Is that something that you want to consider? If it is, completely go for it. You can get paid for it, and you can work it out with YouTube, for example, but I would argue that picking something like, say you love walking and social media help or marketing, there is more opportunity probably in the marketing and helping businesses as opposed to individuals doing walking. Does that make sense? So you can kind of go through your list, especially number 3, and you can kind of have a look and see where the big opportunities lie. Like, are people really looking for marketing? Yes, they are. And you can get quite paid quite a lot from businesses for that. However, if you were, say, for example, let's come over here and let's say, if you were doing, okay, I'm kind of confused. Let's go back to sunsets. If you were doing sunsets, is the pay with sunsets going to meet your desires? You know, like, yes, you could do a lot of things like volunteering, spreading good stuff for climate change, and there are ways that you can turn it into a career if you're interested in the science. But just because you love something doesn't necessarily mean it's very monetizable. And also, do you even want to monetize that? So there's a lot of things to consider here, especially long-term opportunities. Like, what can you see yourself doing for a long time? Now, with me, I do see, while I write these lists, I see a lot of the same answers, which will really help give you that purpose that you have, right? Whether that's writing, whether that's, for me, it was YouTube, it's editing, it's talking, it's being interested, it's learning, and you can combine them together to kind of create a couple paths which you like. So I want you to really write down what you can be paid for based on these, and pick like 5 different things and talk about the pros and cons as to the opportunities there are. Like, for example, here, I'd love to do, I haven't even, an entertainer, sorry. Now, back in the day, you would have thought, oh, maybe radio's the way to go, or TV. But actually, with TV now shifting to YouTube or Netflix, maybe entertainers, the real shift is going on to being a YouTuber and then doing freelance presenting. Do you get what I mean? So there's a lot of things to consider. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you here, but I really hope that makes sense. And hopefully, after this question, you have kind of come to 5 different interests or topics that you can now break down and decide, right, that is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what helped me figure out that YouTube and inspiring the younger generation is what I want to do, because I wrote down my target audience beforehand. I didn't know that. So I'm super happy I did this, and I want to share it with you, and I hope it's helped you as well. If it has, do like and subscribe. Please join my free community if this helps, for men's wellness, as that is my life's purpose. So thank you, subscribe, and I'll see you later.